All right, we've got the 2007 Street Glide broken down. Obviously, go ahead and decarbon the pistons before you put it back together. Also, the heads, we're going to clean those up. Do a 3-angled seat cut on those, and on this model you have to disconnect or remove the engine mount in the front on the frame so you can drop the engine down low enough to get the rear rocker box out of there and be able to torque it to the correct specs when you put it back together. Other than that, it's basically all clear cut. Just make sure when you're taking it apart to remove these bolts here. There's 4 bolts here. You want to slowly loosen all of those until all the pressure is off your push rods. Slowly loosen each one, and then you're able to remove your push rods and covers and disassemble the engine. So next we'll be doing a little head work on the cylinder heads. Okay, on the 2007 Street Glide, when the inner cam bearings, you need to remove those. There's a special tool they make to pull the bearings out of there. Basically, you insert this end into the bearing. You insert the center piece, the mandrel, to keep it from collapsing once you insert it in there, and then you tighten this nut down on the threaded shaft. You can see a threaded shaft or not, but that basically pushes against the outer part of the puller and extracts the bearing out of there. Slowly pulls it back like this and extracts the bearing out. So you definitely want one of these to pull the bearings out. They make one up to 2006. It's a smaller one. They had smaller bearings, and then from 2007 on you get this tool, which is removes the larger bearings. Remember to check all the clearances on your cam lobes inside your engine case. Make sure they don't hit anywhere on your engine case. Follow the directions on the S&S information sheet, and you shouldn't have a problem. All right, I've pulled the pistons off the rods so I can clean the carbon off the pistons without getting the dirt carbon inside the crankcase. Here's your cams and chains, chain tensioner, and we'll be taking this assembly off next. And the pistons are over here. We're gonna decarbon these pistons, take all the carbon off the top of them, and continue on. Take your 2 bolts out. 1 bolt here, another bolt here. You have 2 screws or bolts holding this tensioner in place. You can go ahead and remove them both. When you do, it'll loosen up the chain. You'll be able to get your 2 sprockets off of here and then disassemble the rest. Okay, we've removed the cam support plate. I removed the oil pump myself once I pulled the plate out. I like to pull it out of there, and it just seemed to go together easier for me to have the pump removed from the plate. There's an O-ring back in here that you have to replace that you get with the S&S kit. I just find it easier to put the pump in place and then put the cam plate and cams over that and then line everything up. But when you're pulling out, you can leave the 4 bolts bolted to the pump so the pump comes out along with the plate and the cams. I've got the dial indicator set up here, checking for a run out on the pinion shaft. I'll check this one. This one's okay. It's within specs. 3/1000 is max that they want run out on the pinion shaft. If you have more than that, you should have your flywheels checked. And then over here we have put the cams in the cam plate. Either the 551 S&S cams, the Easy Start cams. They have the compression relief built into the cam, so you don't have to run a larger battery or a higher torque starter to get the engine to crank over easy. So these are the 551 Easy Start cams. I have these in place right now. The timing marks are lined up. Make sure you line your timing marks up for each cam when you install them. Over on the other side, you can see where the new clip is, and the 100,000ths shim that goes on your front cam, and that's all assembled, ready to go back in. So next step, we'll just slide that in place, and then continue on. Make sure you lube everything up really well before you put together assembly lube, or at least engine oil. You also have the block off plates that you have to install on the support plate. There's one there where the old tensioner was, and on the other side, that one there where the old tensioner was. Install those block off plates. Okay, we now have the outer gears, drive gears assembled. Timing marks are on. Install everything. Make sure check your backlash on your gears, play between the two gears. Check your backlash, check your end play, make sure you have some end play. They give you the specs, check all those measurements, and make sure everything turns freely once you get it installed. Put your cover on, and then assemble the top end. Remember, I took this top end apart because we were doing a valve job on it. Otherwise, you could have cut the push rods. You don't have to disassemble the top end. But on this one, we are, because we're doing a valve work. All right, we got the 2007 Street Glide all finished. We put some Vance & Hines 2-in-1 header pipes on it. Also, we put the fuel pack on it and programmed it. Very easy to program. Pull the cover off it. There's a mode switch, and then a positive and negative where you can increase or decrease the values. And you go online and look up the values for your specific bike and application. Pretty simple. Everything's together. The head's back on, everything's back in. Lifter's adjusted. Valves adjusted. Oil's in it. And crank it up. May have to do a little bit of valve adjustment, lift adjustment. Other than that, All done.